Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome to the official alumni podcast by Danning Alumni Network. This is your host, Tehseen Azhar, Head of Alumni Relations at Danning. Today, we have a very special guest with us, Ms. Anusheh Raheem, who is an alumni of our LLB program. Ms. Anusheh is currently working as an associate at SAK & Co., litigators and consultants. Ms. Anusheh is not just a high achiever, she has achieved first class honors in law from University of London. Behind the camera, we have lots of discussion with Ms. Anusheh, but I would like her to please introduce herself for my audience as well.
Hello, assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Anusheh, for coming as well.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be back. This is my campus. Oh, should I say that?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So I am so happy to be back. It's been a while. The campus has changed a lot. I'm very happy to be meeting all these new faces. But a little introduction for myself. I'm Anusheh. I graduated in 2024 with first class honors, very luckily. Right now I'm working as an associate at SAK & Co. I started studying law, I would say, in NIXR, A-levels. It's something I've always wanted to pursue.
Right.
And then I enjoyed it so much. My teachers loved me. I used to ask so many questions that they ended up making me a TA. And then for my second year, I was a senior TA for law again. And then in NIXR, I also got the highest achiever award, subject excellence award for law, which was a great honor. And then I did my LLB here, which I completed last year.
Okay,
And,
great.
Just happy to be working now as a lawyer.
We are also very happy, and I'll say we are having a proud moment that our alumni is back on campus as well.
Yes, very happy.
So, was there any moment or any person or any experience you have that why law? What was your inspiration behind choosing this particular career?
So I think before university, especially when you're picking your major or when you're thinking about what you want to do, you consider all these possible pathways you can take. But for law, what stood out to me was how fluid it was. It's constantly evolving, changing. It's never stagnant. And one more thing that I enjoyed, I think, was that it requires a lot of critical thinking.
Okay.
So you have to read between the lines, but you have to use logic and reasoning, which I think I really liked. So that made me pick law long term, and I'm happy I did.
Okay, so were there any moments like, yeah, this is the thing, or you wanted to change at any stage?
No, I've
No, never.
always
Acha.
known that I'm going to do law.
Law is
yeah.
The law is the
Yes,
choice.
Yes.
Okay, very nice. So achieving this first class honors, do you think it was something that was there, or it was like, nahi yaar, I have to work hard and I want to make it? So what was your approach?
I did not have. I did not think to myself that I'm only going to get first class honors. What I told myself was just do your best.
Okay.
Put in 100%, and whatever happens, happens. I think if everyone has that approach where they just do their 100%, no matter what happens, I think it's a
Exactly.
good result, because at the end of the day, you gave your best, right? It doesn't
Bilkul
matter
aise hi
after
hai.
that.
Right.
So that's the approach I took.
When we talk about law, so law exams can be a challenging one as well.
Yes.
So what was your take or approach towards that?
Oh, okay. I had a very structured approach.
Okay.
So the first thing I would do is every time I took a class, no matter what the teacher said, I would make notes. Anything and everything, the most littlest of explanations, I would make notes. I think that helps in immersion of a topic, and when you're going back through it, aapko yaad aa jata hai that, oh, this is what happened, or I think it's a good reminder for every little thing. So I would first go through my notes that I made during the lectures, and then Denning provides amazing notes. Like, they have booklets for each subject. So I would go topically
Very nice.
for each subject. So for example, for company, I go through the lecture first, then the notes Denning provided, and then I would go through the guidebook.
Okay.
Everyone gets those. I think they're a huge help, honestly. I think it sets everything into perspective for you, because UL tells you exactly what you're supposed to do.
Okay, very nice.
Also, in the guidebook, they tell you exactly where to read for further reading. So they have these books or they have these further study materials that you can look up online. Usually you'll find them for free. I never paid for any extra book.
Acha.
Yeah, the
Right.
VLE library is like a
So
huge
you were utilizing all the resources from library.
100%, yes.
Okay.
And so that was a huge help. And then once I was reading these extra study materials, I would make notes by myself. And then the next step was going through past papers in bulk to recognize the themes for each topic. So, for example, theme A, theme B, theme C. So, this way you're mentally prepared, you know what to expect for each topic. And then once that was done, I would make an answer plan for each theme.
Each theme as well.
Each answer and each deviation of a
Okay.
theme. And I think once you do that, you're prepared. There's nothing
done
you
with
can
all the
yes,
structuring.
Yes. So that was my approach. It might seem too much, but if you start early, I think it's very, very approachable. You can do it easily.
Okay, it's very nice and very structured approach. So, in every student's life, while studying, we always find some difficulties or challenging. So,
Right.
what was your biggest challenge while studying, and how did you overcome it?
I think I used to get really exhausted and burnt out because there's just so much reading in law, right? You just have to read, absorb. So what I would do is as soon as I felt my brain getting tired, I would just take a break. I'd go for a walk, I'd eat something, I'd go to the gym or anything that makes your brain
Just to
work.
have a pause.
Right, like something that gives your brain exercise that rather than just reading and absorbing information. And then I had this very strict approach where I would not study past like 1 maximum.
Okay.
I would
So
not
maximum
study
time
late
is
at night,
one,
no, because
the
you're not
cutoff time.
absorbing information, you're
Okay,
tired.
Yes, makes sense as well.
And then I would never pull an all-nighter before an exam. Like, that was just a big no-no. So I think taking
So have a
breaks,
quality sleep as well.
100%, because then you're psychologically exhausted if you don't. Like,
Exactly.
it's a psychological war for your exam. So I think rest, relaxation, and I would always take 1 day from the week where I don't study.
Okay.
So I think
So break for yourself as well.
yes, you
Okay,
can
very
just do
nice
nothing at
strategy and
home,
approach.
watch Netflix, whatever.
Okay.
Just take a break.
Me time.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yes.
So, if I ask you for my students who are pursuing law right now, what are the tips in crafting essays or dissertation for the law?
Okay. So I did not have a dissertation. I just
Okay.
did exams.
Okay.
So I had problem questions and essays.
Right.
So for essays, my approach was I would have, like just the way I told you, I had a structure of studying. So I had everything set in my mind. But during the exam, if I were to write an essay, what I would do is my introductory paragraph would be very factual. I'd state my thesis statement. I'll say why I think my thesis statement is correct and link it to point A, B, C, D that I'm going to make in the essay. Every time I would make point A, I would link it back to the question
Okay.
to substantiate it, to link it, and then point A, point B, point C, and then I would also have a contradictory point, and then I would refute it. But of course, for that, you need to do some further readings, I think. But
Lots of reading.
I think that helps. And then basically in the last paragraph, you have to explain why you think your answer is correct and how it's correct. And I think if you do all of that, no matter what approach you take, even if it's like an unpopular approach, like you're not for the proposition or you are for the proposition, if you substantiate it, you're good, I think.
Okay.
I think that's like a very logical way to answer your essays. And for problem questions, I would say people tend to underestimate them because they think it's easier. But the thing with problem questions is if you get something wrong, it's a domino effect. So all the other things go wrong.
Okay.
So what I would do is I would read the problem question over and over again to make sure I'm not misunderstanding something. And then one of, I think, the biggest things that helped me was the teacher's answer structures.
Okay.
I follow them strictly, like to
Acha,
the
right.
T. Like the teachers are amazing. Like they know exactly what they're doing. You just have to put your faith in them. And I think once you follow what they're saying, you can't go wrong.
Okay, so the strategy would be like whatever teaching in the classroom, whatever the teachers are teaching, you follow those instructions as well.
Their structures were immaculate.
Okay,
That's all I
very
relied
nice,
on.
very
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Okay. Anusheh, I would like to ask, participating in moot courts, internships, or any other extracurricular activity, do you think that's also contribute towards your academic success?
100%. I did do an internship, and I think it helps you have a more balanced approach. It gives you more
Right.
confidence. It teaches you all the terms you wouldn't know otherwise. It puts you in the practical aspect of law.
Okay.
And I think long term for your career, I think that's a very, very good approach to take, especially if you have time during dining here. They have so many societies here. I think all of them are amazing and they would help every single person here. Like, why not? Why not give it a
Okay.
shot?
So definitely it's a plus if you're doing all these extracurricular things as well.
100%.
Definitely. Okay. Looking back, what advice you will give to current law students if they aim for this first class honors?
I would say don't be lazy.
Okay.
Start early. Start March maximum, so you're not rushing, you're not cramming, you're relaxed. I would say attend all the answer structure classes, past paper classes. They were, I think, the biggest help for me, especially during the end when. So when I would be confused on a topic, what I would do is I would watch the lecture. I'd make notes, rewatch the lecture, make notes, do my reading. It still doesn't make sense. The teachers were so good. You'd start even if you're taking a class online, you just ask them a question in the Zoom chat and they will answer it for you and they will explain it. And I think that's the biggest resource we can take advantage of being here at Denning. The teachers are so well read. They know exactly what UOL needs from your answers. So I think taking advantage of classes and just reading.
Lots of reading and
lots of reading.
okay,
Yeah.
and doing the things beforehand as well.
Yes.
Not on the last moment.
No.
Okay. So what for Anusheh in her this particular legal career? What's next? What you're planning for your academic success or anything?
So hopefully, I'm very ambitious in the sense I do want to do postgrad, but for now, I want to immerse myself in the legal profession here.
Okay.
So I know the ins and outs. I know what to do in the future. Right now, I'm working in litigation. It's very demanding, but very, very fun. High risk, high reward kind of thing. But I'm enjoying it.
Right.
So
So you're like happy from the
I'm
litigation.
doing what I love.
Okay,
Alhamdulillah.
great. So, in your opinion, Anusheh, what do you think? Litigation or corporate is a good choice for a female lawyer?
I think every woman who wants to be a lawyer should experience both.
Okay.
So litigation is very demanding, yes, but very fun, very immersive in the actual legal field. You go to court, you stand before the judges, you figure out just how massive this legal field is. At the same time, however, it's very demanding of your time. You have to work late nights, you have to work weekends, you
Okay.
might have to work public holidays.
Right.
Going to court in the morning is a bit challenging. You need to be at court, inside, ready, 8:30.
Okay, sharp 8:30.
You have to be there
You have
by
to be there.
8:30.
Okay.
No excuses. For corporate, I would say it has a more structured approach.
Right.
You know exactly when something is due. You know when you need to submit something. You know you need to be at office by 9, go home by 6. You don't get that in litigation, but I think to each their own, right? If a person enjoys a more structured approach, corporate is the way to go. Litigation, there's already so few of us women in there. I think
Okay.
to shy away from that now would further diminish our numbers,
Acha.
right? So I think everyone should give both a chance before
Okay.
setting each aside.
What should be the career path or what should be the dimension? All right.
There's so many options. I mean, once you do litigation, you can do corporate. Nothing's stopping you. But experience both, I would say, to everyone.
You must have the flavor of both.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, what do you think? Is there any gender disparity in terms of like this particular profession, if I say?
I think so, yes, especially in litigation. Sometimes when I'm sitting in court, I just look around and there must be like 50, 60 men and 3
Okay.
women.
That's it?
Yes,
Acha.
including me.
Okay.
So I think that does make you question whether you belong, but at the same time, no one has ever said anything to me regarding my gender. Like I've never felt like I'm not supposed to be there or I can't be there. It's just that you need to be a little confident in yourself. Stand with your shoulders broad, chin high.
Exactly.
And
And
make
you
it
are
work.
like
Make it
representing,
work.
yeah. You're the only woman, or you are very in minority as well, but still you are representing.
Yeah.
And
If
you
you're
are
good,
like,
you're good. It doesn't matter
exactly.
if you're a
You
girl
have to
or
be
a guy.
confident enough.
That's it. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, any tips for preparation of exams?
So I think before you go, get some sleep. Like I said, no all-nighters. And keep in mind that it's going to be tight. So you might not have the best keyboard. You might have some hardware issues. So always ask for help. Don't delay it. Um, if it's at a center, which I think it will be, the
Right.
staff is very helpful. As long as you're respectful, you're nice, they will give you your extra time. Um, if your backspace doesn't work, your caps doesn't work, which a lot of my friends suffered with, like, it happens, of course. Take it easy, take a deep breath, don't panic, and ask for help. They will help you. Apart from that, I would say sometimes in a question you go in prepared, you know, this ye aayega or nahi aata. Sometimes it's like a completely different question or a different approach, but that happened to me in my Islamic paper. I was just like, what is this question about? Because you're panicking, there's no time, you're overthinking everything, and you just have to reread the question, take a deep breath, and be like, Maine padha hua hai. I know what this is, I can do it. Just trust yourself. Reread the question, mold it in a way in which you understand, which it would align with your notes, and don't panic. Just do it. I think not skipping topics would be helpful because in case like there is a question that you absolutely don't understand, you have a backup. In any case, attempt the questions, attempt the 4 questions they need. Never leave an answer blank.
Okay.
Because you know, kuch, like even if you
Write
write something,
in.
it might something might be right. You'll score something, especially for problem questions. If you're confused, give both scenarios and then go ahead with the one scenario you think you agree with the most. So don't give up during the paper. Just don't. Just focus on finishing it to the best of your ability, and I think after that you'll do good. It'll be fine.
Because there might be some moments you're like, yeah, I can't do it. I don't know
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
I am not able to, I'll say, understand the
And you're
question.
like, what is this?
What is
It
this?
happens. It happens. It happened to me quite a few times, but you just need to trust yourself that if you have prepared, you've prepared, you're going to be fine. Don't leave it blank. That's it. Just
Write something on it.
manage your time well. And also, one more thing is when you're done with the paper, reread your answers so you can fix all the typos because the keyboards aren't the best, I'll be honest. So you need to make sure that whatever you are typing in a rush makes sense. The examiner can read it, they can understand what you're trying to say, and you're not making some silly typos, silly mistakes, grammatical errors. You are formatting your essays correctly. You have paragraphs, problem questions, you are organizing them well. So it's easier for the examiner to score you, I would say.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think that
Okay.
would really help overall paper preparation.
Okay,
Yeah.
very nice. And that's the right strategy as well.
Right. Yeah.
So thank you so much, Anusheh, for coming for this
Thank you for
podcast.
having
It
me.
was lovely having you. And
Thank you for
thank you,
having me.
everyone, for joining us today. This was our first podcast with Alumni, and we will be having more, inshallah. So stay tuned, and we'll be having more. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.